Hi everyone, it's Jessiana Seville from the Kidney RD and coming in here for one of our lives, and I want to talk about a big concern that I feel like comes across into our practice frequently, and that's when people are feeling discouraged and like nothing is working, not even a plant-based diet, or maybe they're confused about how the plant-based diet is supposed to work for them and they're not sure it's doing right. But I want to talk about a really specific piece of when you feel like nothing's working, what you can do and what some of the tools are out there. If you haven't jumped in here before, if you haven't listened to us before, we really like to our mission is to give clarity to renal nutrition and really advocate for being a first-line treatment. So this whole week we've been talking about gut health. It's a huge piece, a enormous piece of kidney health is having gut health. And one really big piece is when plant-based diets don't work and how that is connected to the gut. So that's what I want to talk about today. To back up, one of the things that happens in our body with kidney disease is inflammation, right? That's a huge broad term, but there can everyone with kidney disease probably has some sort of inflammation. It's an inflammatory condition. Inflammation has a lot of different roots. There's a lot of different things going on, but if you want to just kind of back it up and think about it, you think about if you cut your finger, it gets kind of red, that's inflammation. So just imagine that being internally and throughout your body, and how that can really impact how you feel. So what we have happen sometimes is people will come to us with a couple different things going on. They will say, I have kidney disease and I don't know why. The doctor doesn't know why, but I have this and my GFR just keeps dropping and I don't really know what to do. So what do you have? Because at this point, the doctor has no other options for me. So what can you do to help out? That's one case where we have some really great tools. The other case is in autoimmune kidney disease. Sometimes a plant-based diet will work super fantastic for autoimmune, but sometimes it doesn't. And that's because autoimmune is pretty complex. There can be a lot of things going on and you have to get down to root cause. So to address both of these conditions, when people are not getting traction, they're feeling like they can't get their GFR to come up, they feel like they're eating really healthfully, they're doing all these things and there's just no more options, they just feel like they're going to end up on dialysis, we use some really specific gut healing tools. And one of the favorite things we do is something called the Mediator release test. Now, the Mediator release test is a food sensitivity test. And for some people, they think, oh, that's crazy, this is bogus, whatever. But the science behind this is really fantastic, and we get really good results with it, which is obviously why we continue to use it. But the food sensitivity test is what it does is a blood sample, and they test your blood against different foods to see what type of inflammatory mediators are released by your white blood cells. And by doing that, we can measure what foods are causing inflammation. So the second question people have is they say, why would food, normal food, healthy food like spinach or strawberries or, whatever, apples, why would that cause inflammation? That's supposed to be good for me. Why would beans or lettuce or carrots, why would that cause inflammation for me? That should be healthy. Here's what happens in your gut. So your gut is meant to be a semi-permeable membrane, right? So I just think of like your fingers, things can pass through. So it's meant to be a semi-permeable membrane, and that's so nutrients can pass from the inside of our intestine into our bloodstream, and then it goes throughout our body to be utilized for energy and building cells, etc. But what happens for a variety of reasons, we don't even probably know all the reasons, is our guts can get leaky, meaning they go from being a tight semi-permeable membrane to a loose semi-permeable membrane. So things that couldn't get through into the bloodstream before now can get into the bloodstream. And one of the things that happens, because obviously food is what's going through our digestive tract, is that as our food breaks down, some of the big pieces that should get broken down more before they pass over into our bloodstream, kind of these bigger particles of foods. We call them protein antigens. And our body thinks they're a foreign substance, and so it launches an immune response. and it creates inflammation. Our body releases something called an inflammatory mediator. Now, an inflammatory mediator, all of us know, is histamine, right? If you get a cold, your body releases histamine, you get a runny nose, you get itchy eyes. But histamine is an inflammatory mediator, and you have over 100 of these in your bodies. And for some reason, they localize in different places. So you'll see food sensitivities involved with skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis. You'll see it involved definitely with gut conditions, because you have food going through your gut, and if it's going to be causing a reaction, the gut is a pretty close place for it to go. You'll see joint pain, fatigue, brain fog, all of these sorts of conditions you'll see linked with food sensitivities, which really is linked back to an imbalance in your gut health. So the reason we use a food sensitivity test is it allows us to get really specific, really fast on what we need to do and how to build out a diet. And it doesn't just tell us what not to do, but it tells us what to do, because it's going to show us our least inflammatory foods, and it's also going to show us our most inflammatory foods. So I'm going to give you a few examples of how this has worked for people. And I'll give you my very first person I ever did this with, and then I'll give you a recent, some of my recent CKD clients, and actually why I started using it with CKD clients. So how it works is there's the lab in Florida, Oxford Biomedical. We have kits sent to our clients. There's 4 blood vials. They get their blood drawn, and then they send it in, and then we get the results back in 5 or 10 days, and we build out what's called a LEAP protocol. It doesn't matter, it's just what they call it, is the LEAP protocol. But the LEAP protocol helps us guide people on their choices. So the first person I ever did this with was my sister. She had really bad joint pain. She's a dog groomer, and like she couldn't even hold the leashes or do her job, and was having to take heavy dose steroids. And the doctors, again, like they didn't know what was going on. So I'd heard about this, and I studied and learned how I could do this, and then asked if she'd kind of test it out with me, and her results were phenomenal. As a dietitian, I have never in my life seen food make such an incredible impact. Within 2 weeks, her symptoms had dropped by half, and within 6 weeks, she was off all of her medications. Her joints felt great, and she was really back to feeling so much better. Now, interestingly enough, on hers, and again, it's specific to every person, so I'm not saying these foods are bad. Interestingly enough, on hers, one of her highest reactive foods was almonds. Now, almonds, which we typically think are helpful, they're a good source of healthy fats, good plant protein source. The almonds really bother her, and even to this day, if she eats too many, it will bother her. Now, here's why I started using it with chronic kidney disease, and why I think it's a really valuable tool for people that have kidney disease that's like they don't know what's going on, or autoimmune kidney disease. Now, she had a friend, a really good friend, who had kidney disease, was spilling tons of protein in her urine. This friend was pretty much a full vegetarian, ate very little meat, a little bit of fish now and then. Really busy person, but she did not know why she had kidney disease called idiopathic nephritis. So inflammation in your kidneys, we don't know why that's idiopathic. And so she reached out to me after hearing about my sister and was like, hey, can I do this? Like, I don't mind doing something a little bit unusual. I want to try it out. And so we tested her, and at first she didn't want to commit to following the protocol, but she got some lab results back. She's like, Kim, just do this. And the doctor had told her, we don't know what to do. You're probably, it's going to be about 10 years. We'll probably end up on dialysis. So she's like, nope, I'm going to prove them wrong. So she started working through the protocol again. And within 3 months, her proteinuria had halved. And by 6 months, her GFR had gone from, I think she's around 65-ish or 70 up to 100. She had no protein in her urine. And her doctor was like, well, I guess I'll remove the idiopathic diagnosis because I don't really see anything wrong. So when I had that happen, I started thinking, well, man, are there other people that are struggling with this idiopathic kidney disease where this could be a good tool for them? And how does it fit into like scientifically, how does this fit into helping people? So again, for the right people, it's an amazing tool. We always combo it with healing the gut. So we do a stool test to kind of map out the gut from top to bottom, and a micronutrient test, because that trifecta really allows us to get a lot of clarity on all the different pieces that might be contributing to inflammation or decline. So for people that they have a complex condition, or they don't really know what's going on, or they already feel like they're eating healthy and it's just not working out, we really like to use this tool because it gets us a lot of traction with people. I wanted to share one of our more recent clients that went through this, and what she said is, she said the LEAP and Deep Dive program, that's the protocol that we used, it literally saved my life. She found out that she had kidney disease and she tried everything, but it seemed like there was nothing that was going to work for her. So she said, after 4.5 months on the program, my CKD is stable. My GFR went from 36 to 40. I no longer have arthritis pain in my knees. My skin is clear. She had a lot of rashes that just were kind of mysterious. I feel physically and mentally great, and I no longer need my diabetes medication. So for her, again, it was an incredible experience, and something that I feel can be really helpful for a lot of people, for the right person. We don't do this for everybody. It's definitely not inexpensive. This is one of our higher end services that we offer because it's such a specialized service, and we just really feel like it offers so much value to the right person. But this is why we do discovery calls. We're not going to have people just purchase this. Again, it's for the right person, people that have idiopathic conditions or autoimmune. And what we want to do is talk with you, see if this is a good fit for you. If this is a path that you want to walk down, then we need to let you know the commitment that's involved. I will not take clients that are not going to be committed to doing some cooking at home. I'm not going to take clients that are not going to be committed to the process of healing, because it doesn't work if you don't walk through the process right. But you can schedule it if you think this is something that would help you out. If you have an idiopathic condition, you don't know why you have kidney disease, if you feel like your gut is, not in the right place, or maybe you're not sure what to do, then schedule a call with us, and I can walk you through if this would fit for you, or if there's a different angle or different strategy that you're going to use to be able to leverage nutrition to help your kidney disease. Anyways, that's all for today. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the Mediator release test, food sensitivity testing, and how we use it and the success that we see. It's a great tool. I wish more people knew about it, because I feel like it gets people a lot of traction in their health journey. Anyways, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, where we do lives and we post a lot of our great resources, or you can go over to our website at thekidneyrd.com, where you can schedule a call with me. If you don't see a time that is soon enough for you, we are booked out almost till mid-end October, then shoot us a contact over our contact form and see if we can get you in sooner. A lot of times we have things open up, so you'd want to get on a wait list. That's kind of one of the tricks to getting in earlier. Otherwise, you have to wait almost 4 to 6 weeks to get into our practice. Anyways, that's it, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.